Welcome to our channel, The Narrow Path. Jeremiah 1:25 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." This is a profound declaration from God to Jeremiah, but also a message for all of us who want to understand our place in His plan. Today we will explore 3 ways that this scripture empowers us to overcome fear and doubt when we feel lost or directionless in life. They imply that our existence was not a random occurrence, but rather a deliberate act of divine choice. God's omniscience and sovereignty are evident as He knew us, not just as individuals. When faced with adversity or uncertainty, it's easy to lose sight of our purpose and wonder why we're going through a particular experience. However, Jeremiah 1-5 offers a powerful reminder that we are here for a reason. God has placed us on this path for a specific divine purpose. By understanding and embracing this truth, we can find strength in knowing that we are not merely victims of circumstance, but that our lives have a deeper meaning and significance. This implies that our destiny is not entirely in our hands, but that God has already set certain things in motion for us. This truth can bring both comfort and challenge. It comforts us because it means that we don't have to worry or stress about every decision, knowing that God is working behind the scenes to orchestrate our lives. Thank you for joining me on this channel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to show your support by giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe to stay updated on our latest videos. And for more insightful content, visit our channel on YouTube or TikTok. Thanks for watching. At the same time, it challenges us to be proactive and obedient to the plans and opportunities that come our way. It's a reminder that while we may not have control over everything, we do have the ability to respond and cooperate with God's will. It's an encouragement to look beyond our immediate suffering and trust that God has a greater plan unfolding for our lives. Finally, the scripture tells us that God knew us before we were born, which means that we are not ordinary or insignificant. God has a plan for each one of us, and He knew us and chose us before we were born. When we face challenges or uncertainties in life, this truth can give us hope and strength. It calls us to embrace our divine calling, discover our unique purpose, and unlock our full potential. So let us remember that we are not merely products of our circumstances, but that we are fearfully and wonderfully made by God, with a special destiny to fulfill. Let these words from Jeremiah 1-5 be a source of comfort, guidance, and inspiration as we navigate the journey of life, knowing that we are loved, chosen, and empowered by God. We are special in God's eyes. Each one of us is a masterpiece, intricately crafted by God with a unique set of qualities and characteristics that make us who we are. This truth should fill us with a sense of worth and value. It reminds us that we are not defined by our mistakes or shortcomings, but by the divine purpose and potential that reside within us. Embracing this truth helps us treat ourselves with kindness and compassion, knowing that we are loved and cherished by God. It also inspires us to see the specialness in others, treating them with respect and recognizing their inherent value. But with all our potential and complexities, even before we had a chance to make our mark on the world, this plan is not something to be feared, but something to embrace. The idea that God knew us before we were born implies that He had a specific intention in creating us. This means that we are not here by accident or chance, but by the purposeful design of our Creator. God saw the potential within us and had a unique plan that only we can fulfill. This truth liberates us from the belief that we are merely products of our environment or circumstances. Instead, it affirms that we have inherent value and worth because we are fearfully and wonderfully made by God Himself. Recognizing this truth empowers us to pursue our dreams and aspirations boldly, knowing that we have a divine spark within us that sets us apart. It means that our lives are guided by a loving and purposeful hand, and we have the opportunity to be part of God's grand design. We are capable of achieving more than we may think, because God has placed unique abilities and talents within us for a specific purpose. Embracing this truth allows us to unlock our full potential and pursue the dreams and goals that God has set before us. It's an encouragement to step out of our comfort zones and take risks, knowing that we have the divine backing to succeed. When we align ourselves with this divine plan, we discover our true purpose and the unique ways in which we can make a positive impact on the world. It's a reminder that we are all interconnected and that our individual plans fit into a larger tapestry that God is weaving. This truth can be a source of great comfort, especially when we're going through tough times. It serves as a gentle reminder that we are not alone, abandoned to the whims of fate. Instead, we are cherished and selected by a loving God who sees our unique value. Knowing that God had a plan for us even before we were born gives us the strength to endure and the hope to keep moving forward. When we face challenges or feel uncertain about our future, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we're merely a product of our circumstances, victims of fate or chance. But Jeremiah 1-5 shatters this notion by reminding us that each one of us was chosen by God before we even entered the world. This truth has the power to transform our perspective and give us hope, even in the darkest of times. Before birth, you were chosen. These words hold immense power. Embrace your divine calling. Jeremiah 1-5 doesn't just tell us that God had a plan for us before we were born. It also emphasizes that He set us apart for a special purpose. This means that each one of us has a unique calling or destiny that we are meant to fulfill. We are not here by accident. Rather, God has a specific reason for our presence in this world at this time. This truth calls us to action. It reminds us that we have a responsibility to discover and fulfill the purpose for which God created us. It encourages us to listen to His voice and follow His guidance, so that we can live a life that is not only meaningful to us, but also makes a difference in the world around us. You are here for a reason. Life can sometimes feel like a chaotic journey filled with unexpected twists and turns. The divine design. Jeremiah 1-5 reveals a beautiful truth. God had a plan for us even before we were born, created with intention. Unlock your potential. Jeremiah 1-5 assures us that God has a plan for us, which implies that we have untapped potential waiting to be discovered. Before you were born, God's plan. One of the most significant aspects of Jeremiah 1-5 is the realization that God's plan was established before we were born.
You are special.
In conclusion, Jeremiah 1-5 is a powerful reminder that we are not here by accident. And if you find value in these messages, please remember to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe or follow for more uplifting content on the narrow path.